Muwafaq has retrieved what he could from the ruins of his home. In what's left of Aleppo's Salah ad-Din neighborhood, there's little time to ponder one's loss. The situation is terrible, Muwafaq tells me. We're taking everything we can. We don't know where we'll go. We've lost everything, so we're leaving. His family of 7 is just one of thousands of families who have fled Salah ad-Din, now one of the main battlefields between government forces and the rebels. 17-year-old Hamza has been fighting here for the last 2 weeks. He says several of his comrades were killed by Syrian army snipers earlier in the day. These lightly armed fighters have managed to hold off the army. Their most potent weapon is not in their enemy's arsenal, says this elderly fighter who identifies himself simply as Alexander.
We believe in God. In this Kalashnikov, old Kalashnikov, we can fight with them and we will win because we have Iman.
Faith.
We have faith. We believe in God. They don't believe in God. If he believes in God, he don't pump his people.
The death and destruction is not restricted to the front lines. Government jets regularly bomb targets around the city. The rebels fire back with their light machine guns. The rebel-held district of Sukkari, further removed from the fighting, provides its inhabitants with the illusion of normality. A few shops and street vendors are at work. But prices are up. A kilo of tomatoes costs 4 times what it did a month ago, and that's if you have the money to buy it. There's little work to be had as the city turns into a battleground. Tamer the baker is preparing date-filled cakes for the breaking of the Ramadan fast. He says he's too busy to worry about the fighting. It's an odd feeling here in the parts of Aleppo occupied by the Free Syrian Army. People are out, they're buying vegetables, the bakeries are working, but all the while, occasionally, you hear blasts like that as the area comes under bombardment. Lu'ay shows me his son, Mustafa, born 10 days ago to the sound of fighting. He cries and is terrified during the bombing, says Lu'ay. The bombardment appears to be random. I was told this house was hit in an air raid 2 days before, killing 2 of its inhabitants. There are no rebel positions in the area. Cut off from the rest of the city, Sukkari residents have turned a public park into a temporary graveyard. Abu Hamoud, a fighter, explains that the latest grave contains 3 bodies no one could identify because they were so severely mutilated. The shelling goes through the night. The explosions and the uncertainty about where the next round will fall make sleep difficult. Early in the morning, around 100 residents of Sukkari line up for bread. This is the only bakery that makes bread in the area. Bread has become the main staple here. Each family member is allowed 1 flat loaf a day, sold at a symbolic price. The flour is provided either by the Free Syrian Army or wealthy benefactors. Even if more food was available, cooking is a problem. This part of Aleppo has run out of cooking gas. Adnan explains she cooks for her extended family of 16 on firewood she collects in parks and in the street. And for the children, there's a sense of bewilderment as war turns their lives upside down. We're confused, says 11-year-old Nahla. We feel they want to attack us. We left this area before, then we came back. Now we want to leave again, but we can't. With an all-out Syrian government offensive looming over the city, Nahla and others like her can do little but wait and hope the next bomb falls far, far away. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Aleppo, Syria.